Sarah Everard's murderer deserves decades in prison, but his sentence is excessive, according to the killer PC's lawyer. Wayne Couzens, a serving Met police officer when he abducted, raped and killed the 33-year-old in March 2021, was given a rare whole life order following his trial last year. It was the first time the sentence had been imposed for a single murder of an adult not committed in the course of a terror attack. It comes as Couzens is again due at the Old Bailey on May 11, charged with 4 counts of indecent exposure prior to the death of Ms. Everard, who he targeted as she walked home in South London. Wayne Couzens was a serving Met officer when he murdered Sarah Everard, Image, PA. A court artist sketch of Couzens during the hearing on Wednesday, Image, PA. A bearded Couzens, 48, wearing a grey jumper, appeared by video link from Hemp Franklin at the start of the hearing. Members of Ms. Everard's family were present in the Royal Courts of Justice as his appeal was discussed. Jim Sturman QC, for Couzens, said the former PC's remorse and guilty plea should be taken into account. Mr. Couzens accepts that his crimes are abhorrent and nothing I say in any way is intended to minimize them or to minimize the impact of these crimes on Sarah Everard's family and huge circle of friends, the barrister explained. Couzens was given a whole life order last year, Image, Kent Messenger, SWNS. He told the court that it was accepted that Couzens deserved decades in jail, but argued a whole life term was excessive. Mr. Sturman added, the combination of his remorse and his guilty pleas should balance out that aggravating factor which clearly exists, of him being a police officer, albeit off-duty in half uniform. The barrister told the court that Couzens was unique out of the 64 people currently serving whole life orders. He said in written submissions, whilst this may well be considered by the public and the court to be a case of equal seriousness to a political, religious, or ideological murder, it is not such an offense, nor does it fall into any other category listed in the schedule. Mr. Sturman later argued that police officers are not unique in being able to detain people, giving an example of a teacher able to detain vulnerable pupils. People turning on their phone torches in Clapham Common, London, for a vigil for Sarah Everard, Image, PA. He concluded, a lot of very unique and very horrible cases come before the court, but in our respectful submission, the court should think long and hard on step back from a whole life order in this case. Tom Little QC, representing the Attorney General's Office, AGO, and Crown Prosecution Service, said Couzens' offending was of the utmost seriousness, adding, his criminality was, as found by the judge, a fundamental attack in reality on our democratic way of life. A police officer is in a uniquely powerful position, Mr. Little said. Mr. Little said the sentencing judge had provided a clear and coherent justification for the sentence that he imposed. The judge was entitled to form the view that he did in relation to a lack of genuine contrition, he added. Mr. Little concluded, the whole life order was the right sentence to impose in this wholly exceptional case. Emma Tustin and Thomas Hughes, who killed 6-year-old Arthur Labinjo Hughes in June 2020, also had their sentences reviewed on Wednesday. Arthur suffered a catastrophic brain injury while in the sole care of Tustin, who was jailed for life with a minimum term of 29 years. Tustin and Arthur's father, Hughes, who was sentenced to 21 years for manslaughter, appealed against the length of their sentences, which are also being challenged as being unduly lenient. Mr. Little said Tustin's case merited at the very least consideration of a whole life order.